lose my mind. Oh my god.
No one can intro unless it's you.
Unless it's me with the boring drone voice, basically.
Yep.
Hello everyone. Depression Monday. No, hello everybody. Welcome back to another
Motivational
podcast.
Monday.
Another week, Motivational Monday, as Ryan's clearly said. This podcast is purely motivational today, so we're going to be in for a good one. I'm going to introduce everybody. You can all say hello. We have our favourite podcast person back with us after a long time away. He actually went. This is no lie. He can back me up. He actually had to play for his favourite football team, Arsenal, over the weekend, didn't you, Leo?
Don't make me get the shirts out again. Don't make me get the shirts out.
Yeah, angle that T-shirt back over. So Leo is here. Everyone, welcome Leo. Say hi, Leo. Hi, Leo.
Okay, boy.
There we go. Wow, what if he was? Hey, what if he was? About that.
I mean, it's all jokes. So
You've
carry
been
on with your
23,
life, I
mate.
suppose.
Can't make jokes anymore.
Oh no!
We can.
1 minute in, and Ryan's been homophobic. It's classic.
Not really homophobic, if you are, to be honest. It's just stating the truth, isn't it? Really, it's just a statement.
Actually, yeah, thinking about it, it's stating the truth. Yeah. But anyway, Ryan, how you doing? How are you today? You good?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. Not too bad. Know about yourself.
You ready to talk about some Formula One?
If we're actually going to talk about Formula One this week, it'd be nice.
Yeah. No, I think we will. I think we'll mention some cars with wheels and wheels.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe some front wings off on the, not on the car. So
Yeah. No, we'll talk about some stuff about cars going fast. Josh,
Beautiful.
how you doing? As always.
Yeah, all good.
Oh, good. Why were you so late today?
I was busy.
you
What were
didn't
you
get
busy?
the memo.
What were you busy doing?
I was working out.
At the gym.
Yes.
Fantastic. Self-improvement is what it's all about. You know,
Motivational Monday.
and that's what it is about, Motivational Monday, which leads me on to our motivational topic. Why are old F1 fans always pricks?
Oh, be our YouTube title name.
I've taken that personally. I've taken it personally. I'll tell you why.
Go on then,
You lot
Leo.
on social media are taking my sport away from me.
It's true, though.
Yeah, but Leo, you're
It's
a
true.
I'm
true
It
Leo.
is.
I've been watching since the 70s.
Mate, honestly, it's crazy. Even over, like, recently, I saw... Oh, actually, I've got a great one immediately about this exact same thing today. Twitter is just amazing to see the absolute lunacy that people fall into all the time. It's crazy. So basically, a bit of context. All three of us, Josh, Ryan, have watched Formula One on and off in spats for a long time, but only watched it seriously after the release of Drive to Survive. Leo is an absolute king. Watched it ever since he was born on the racetrack. You know, so he's
Lives and breathes motorsport.
he's a day one. He's a day one homie. And Leo, when did you start watching Formula One?
I was 6, so 2007. But like when you say properly understanding it, I was probably about 10, 11, sort of when you fully understand it. But yeah.
Yeah, so you fully understood Formula One at 10 years old.
Well, you understand it a lot more, innit? Like, yeah.
Yeah, you understand that you can't just drive around in a circle and someone wins.
But this way, I hated Red Bull from like when I was 10 years old.
Yes.
So I
Major
understood
statement.
Formula One.
That's all you need to know, basically, in Formula One. Do you like Formula One? Yes. Do you hate Red Bull? Yes. You're in. Welcome to the club, basically.
Are you a
Otherwise
Drive to
you get kicked
Survive
out.
fan? No. Okay, even better.
So here's a good one, basically, and I want an open discussion with all of us to I'm going to throw some questions out, and we're going to kind of see what a bunch of, mid-20s clueless idiot men can have these very, very in-depth takes. Very what's the word? Wow, fuck! I just butchered that word. Oh my lord!
Wow.
Hello.
Are you looking for philosophy?
Yeah, but it's like the doing part of philosophy. Oh!
F. Get in the mud.
How do you say that?
You don't.
How do you say it?
You actually don't.
You don't. Yeah, that's it. You don't.
Philosophical. I didn't Google it. My hands were underneath. They weren't underneath the table. That was nearly another double bad, double idiot.
Oh, Josh is taking major L's this weekend.
Yeah, I've taken L's. Been catching strays all weekend. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I saw. I can't remember what I was saying. I was just gone. It's completely gone. That's what happens when you hit old age. So basically,
we're talking about how stupid middle-aged men find F1, and you're putting a T on this right now, mate.
And I'm just proving that.
I don't think we need to cover this topic anymore.
No, I think we've sussed it, really.
I'm stupid. That's basically the be all and end all of it all.
You are Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, it's gatekeeping, basically, with our resident Knight of the Gate, Leo, here as well. So I want to talk about all of our opinions. That's where I was. I've caught up. So I have all of our opinions and ideas and have a bit of an open discussion about the big elephant in the room of Drive to Survive. We're coming up on season 5, which is actually insane when you think about it. Drive to Survive
in 3 days. Seasons. Is it released on 3 days? 23rd?
No.
Yeah, I think it's either. I thought it was when testing is on. Because you can watch testing, and then you can watch Drive to Survive, and then testing, and then Drive to Survive, and then we've got.
It's on the 25th. Josh is correct on that one.
Nice, well done. I knew I was right.
Sense.
So,
I meant JC, not you. So.
Yeah. So, as a first take, and this has been done till the cows come home. That was pure ignore. Pure ignored. See, this is the thing when you lead the questions in. You just ignore Ryan basically.
That's enough.
So I want first off, I'm going to go with the absolute basic, no knowledge Andy, and then I'm going to ask Leo, who is high IQ level of Formula One. So Josh, what do you think of Drive to Survive?
No knowledge Andy.
I knew you'd get that. That was just an easy. That was an easy bait. Easy bait, basically.
Hook, line, sinker.
What was the question again?
What colour do you think cheese is under a UV
light? Technically, cheese doesn't have a colour because it's part of the moon. So it depends on what side of the sun. So it could be yellow, it could be white. No, what was the
This is very true. What do you think? And not, I just want an overall. What do you think of Drive to Survive?
I like it. I think it's really engaging. I don't like where they make up like fake stories. I think that's like too fake. I think real fans can see through that. I think if you're watching it as a really, really not too serious into Formula One, just watching sport like documentaries. Like I've been watching the one about tennis recently. And that's really good. You don't have to have a knowledge about tennis to understand it because they teach you how it goes in the first episode. So I think it's quite good. I think it's good for the sport because they did it for the Man City, did it for Leo's loser team. That was interesting watching their downfall for a year. They did the Arsenal one, and I enjoyed watching that as well. So I think any sports documentary, like showing how it all works, and for 5 years now, like that's pretty outstanding. It obviously works. I like it. In short.
What's that new one you're watching? Is it Full Swing in it about the golf?
Yeah, Full Swing golf one. I mean, that looks unreal in the teaser. Yeah, that looks unreal.
That's the new one, isn't it?
But the tennis one.
Yeah,
really
there's
good
a lot of people I think don't realise, do they? Just how much drama and stuff like that is actually inside the inner workings of sports. It's
other than
really
F1, obviously that golf one is brand new. Like, there's not even a season out yet, but it's all relatively new, and it's all just relatively since.
It's easy to keep up with as well. It's
literally
sort of like
2019,
real life.
Start of COVID, really, wasn't it? They started bringing the drive properly in.
The football one sort of. What was Leo? You would know. City. When did that come out? Like 2017. Yeah, that's where it all started. All these like sports docs.
2018, I think.
Yeah. So around that time. So they kicked it all off. Like the Man City one, even if you're not football fans, that is so good to watch.
I think the F1 started on that 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
It's their first one as well.
But it came out in 2019 because it was the recording of the 2018
season.
Yeah.
Period.
No, wait, am I lying?
No, you're right.
No, you are right. It
I'm
came,
right.
it came out in 19, recorded of 18. And then
Words
this
I
one
don't
is-
usually hear. Yeah, so you generally overall think it is a good thing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the sport.
I don't think it's a negative thing. I think there's negative connotations to it. But I think I think that's the editing that they do. But they also have there's a fine line between getting it right for the purist, like Leo, and getting it right for Louis as well. Josh's other
Yeah.
half. So it's got it's
Leo
a
and
balance.
Louis. Yeah.
So it's a tricky one, but I enjoy watching it. I'm looking forward to season 5 coming out. I hated season 4. I couldn't rewatch the last episode.
We know why.
Not going to go into it, but I think it's good. I think it's good for sport. Really good for the sport.
Yeah, and very interesting again that Mr. Max Verstappen is going to be in it this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying
I
that.
can't wait for him to. I'm going to enjoy it because Yeah, he did.
He
Yeah.
sacked it off because he didn't want to speak to him.
So I don't
do any
like how they
interviews.
portray me. Well, you're a
And
prick.
now,
So
and now he's back in it, but they're going to portray him as a prick still. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
They're not going to
did
portray him as a
Mazepin
prick.
get a good light?
They're not going to portray
No.
him as a prick.
So-
Now he's in it, they're going to treat him like God. I can see it.
No,
No.
100% not. They know.
No.
Leo's
Numbers
nodding.
will go
Leo
higher
knows.
if they.
The trailer was like that's the only person they had talking like that.
around him.
Yeah, it's going to be about him. It's going to be the Max Verstappen drive to survive.
I don't think it is. I think because
That'd
there's
just be another thing Christian's paid off, I suppose.
what's it? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he
Christian
gets
and
enough
Sky.
screen time as it is. Fuck my life.
Yeah, you don't need any more. My goodness. No, I think it's really interesting, actually. I think it's going to be not pro and not anti Verstappen. It's just going to be, oh, yeah, here he is. Much like when Nico Hulkenberg was in it in like 2019 or whenever it was, or
Max
18. I can't
Verstappen
remember
and
what one it was.
Nico Hulkenberg are completely different, mate. They're going to
No,
be
what
so
I mean is,
far
like,
up.
he was just kind of, no.
He's
I-
compared ketchup and mayonnaise there, isn't he?
What one's that? You know? Hulkenberg.
Yeah, but if you
But
combine them, you get saucy
What I mean
sauce.
by that
Oh,
is obviously saucy sauce, depending. Saucy sauce on chips.
That is
for God's
unreal,
sake.
isn't it?
Get back on track.
That's
yeah,
where we're going.
yeah,
we
literally.
are
right.
Right,
Started a
no,
tangent.
no
Racing
sauce
track.
and candle talk.
I've started a tangent that I didn't want to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Back on track.
Especially sriracha mayo. Just going to leave that there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think much like Hulkenberg was, he was just kind of like he was in it quite a bit, but it was just like, oh yeah, look, it's Hulkenberg.
They
I
don't
think
give
it'll
a
be very
fuck
similar to
about
Max this
Hulkenberg.
year. I think it's going to be, oh yeah, look, Max Verstappen's in this now, because I don't think they're going to want to portray him badly, but you can't do a story on Max Verstappen without the bad bits. And if he says no bad bits, there's not really any story. What's there to talk about? He won a championship again with basically no competition because Ferrari botched it, but
For
he
us,
had
that's nice.
a classic Ferrari. And then the other part, he what was it? The other part was just him being a massive arsehole the whole time. So you think
Pretty much.
there's not really any.
I'll tell you what they will do. They'll show all the bits where he's not driving.
Yeah, well, he's always driving, and he's even got a simulator on his plane in the air, so he can drive
That's
a
the
car
bits,
when he flies.
That's the bits they'll show him on because it'll just be him on the track. So
Yeah,
He
look
can't
at
be
how
an
cool
arsehole
he is, and you know
if
he's
he's
going
the
to
only
come
one.
out like this is for the video viewers. Just quickly, you know, he's going to come out and he's going to do that face like that. Like, when he turns around, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. The fact they need to change it this year. You just look like a frog. And I'm not trying to roast, but when you've got like Lewis who turns around, and he's like, "Yeah, boy, I'll get you."
Even
That-
Leclerc, like when he
Yeah.
turns around, Norris, Signs, any of
At
them
least
turn around, they look half
they all
decent.
look aggressive. And Max is good, you know?
He turns around and he's just
Crossed his arms, looked down, evil glare. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get you. Like that perfect bit. They just made him look like an idiot. Turns around on that thing. Yeah, it's just embarrassing. Poor lad. Yeah, Leo. Anyway, throwing a question over to you. What's your opinion on Drive Survive, and any counterpoints to what Josh might have said in general?
It's good for the sport. Like, look at since 2018, since Liberty took over, you've got all this like media on it, and obviously Netflix, and it's made Formula One
Little pub.
massive. As you can see, you've got the you threw me off there. You've got,
Classic Ryan being a knobber.
You got all these Grand Prix like getting sold out straight away. That was near unheard of before pre-2018, and it was so easy to get like tickets for, you know, let's say Silverstone, for example. That sold out within a day this year.
Well,
But,
we
like,
went last year, I don't think I've ever seen Silverstone packed out pretty much on a practice day.
Exactly. Back in like last time was 2017, you could still get tickets and buy seated tickets on the day or like on Sunday. That's it's impossible now. So as a sport, it's good. I enjoyed the first one, but this could sound it. I don't like it personally. I feel like it overhypes like the drama, and then people will actually go to watch Formula One. They'll watch something like the Belgian Grand Prix, which I love, but is a boring race usually. And they'll sit there and be like, oh, right, it's, you know, it's not as good. And then it sets these false expectations. So I feel like it sets false expectations. For sport, it's good. But
I'll tell you when it sets false expectations for is Imola. Because no matter what they do, Drive to Survive somehow make Imola look interesting. And then when it actually comes to the race, you just want to gouge your eyes out and not ever see it again.
It's bad, isn't it, Imola? Why?
I don't know why they've still got it on the calendar. They need to take it off the calendar. It's such a shocking race. Or open DRS on the first lap.
Well, it is, isn't it, this year? Correct? Am I correct? Not on the first lap, on the second lap. DRS is open in one.
I'm pretty sure it's second lap, not third. But if it rains at Imola...
Yeah, but what Ryan's talking about is not the lap. It's the safety car lap. Ryan's talking about if it rains and they can't, like...
rains,
oh my God, we got 30
Yeah.
laps under this rain and we can't release the DRS. Oh my God,
It's
what can we do?
literally, it's like they start off as a normal train, then they turn into a tram, and they stay like it and follow each other.
It was awful, wasn't it? It was really,
shocking.
really bad.
And then you see what happens when you try and overtake someone. I mean, you try and kill them and go into the side of them, i.e. George Russell. But
Well, that was... should never have been it. I always stand up by that. I don't think it was George's fault. Why was... Bottas, again, that's another race where Bottas lost Hamilton the championship.
Well, yeah, again, why was
off.
Bottas fighting for 10th in a Mercedes?
Yeah.
Because he's a dog.
But like literally, donkey.
Yeah.
Actual donkey.
And also, why would you squeeze on that bit of the track when you know you've got to turn left, but your car is going right?
You know in your head, though, as a racing driver, you see a Williams coming up behind you and you're like, oh, what the hell? Am I trash? Like, am I an idiot?
Like, hang on a minute.
What's going on?
This Williams has legs on me in the rain. What's happening?
To be fair, that Williams in 2021 was just a light in the rain.
Yeah, that was unbelievable in the rain.
That was something else. The Spa.
Well, I was going to say, you saw his lap in Spa. That should just end that
the fact
conversation.
that he did that, and then he went in a Mercedes that was a pain in the arse to drive, and people were like, trashest driver on the grid. Like what? He got science turned into him, and he hit science in US last year, and everyone was ripping on him. It was like, come on,
did you not notice though? They're probably mostly DTS fans.
Yeah, but and this, amazing, leads me on to the exact next thing, which is following up from what Leo was saying about that first season was very good. It didn't really have any substance. It was just random midfielders, and it made you care about who was finishing in 12th and 13th.
Yeah.
And it, I was watching F1 in the past, and I'd walk downstairs and say to Dad, who's winning? And Dad would go, Vettel. And I'd go, okay. And then I'd walk off. Because, you hear the word Vettel in 2013, and you know that he's 2 minutes up the road. Stop to get a meal deal at Tesco's and then carry on the race. And it's the same as like a Hamilton in 2014. It's okay. But it actually made you care about the other things. I think it's losing that, where it's now just drama.
Well, it's not even that. It's they're doing the drama, but there's a couple of episodes at the beginning of the season, like I'd say the first 3 or 4, where they cover like the back of the end of the group of the F1 teams, like Haas, Williams, Alpha, and all them get covered in the first 4 episodes. And the rest of it is just Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren sometimes. Aston get a bit of a hint here and there because Moneybags has probably paid them off to do it.
Yeah, I want it to be the Aston Martin Drive to Survive
Aston Martin.
show. Aston Martin. So, Leo, why do you think season 2, 3, 4 weren't very good?
Whoa.
What's happened there?
Who's having a row?
Screaming.
Someone just die. Sorry, Jesus.
Is that in Leo's house? Leo, who's dying in your house?
Someone's attached the bayonet.
It's my brother. That's what it is.
God.
So I think it's over dramatized. Second and third and fourth was so over dramatized.
Yeah. Was it just purely the drama then that you were like, nah, I'm not about this? I know what Formula One's like. I've watched it since, like you said, 2009?
Since he was 10 years old.
2007. I was trying to do the math there and I couldn't remember for the life of me. So, yeah, so you...
I also, like, you could say that the draft scientists kind of swindled the decisions in 2021 Abu Dhabi, but that's what I say, it's over dramatized. So, don't get me wrong, the first season was so good to watch. It was slightly dramatized, but it was really good to watch, see behind the scenes. But ever since then, it's just, you just know what you're getting. You're going to, stupid feud that they had with was it Signs and Norris in the second season, I think it was, where they just made up a feud which never existed.
Yeah, just piece a bunch of radios from different races and different years together to make it sound like they're arguing.
Like,
when in fact
ever
they're not
since
at all.
Carlos Sainz switched to Ferrari, they now hate each other.
And it's like next scene they're playing golf with each other. So, okay.
Listen to this audio. One's from Spa and one's from Imola.
And exactly what Leo just did there, I'm going to throw this out to the floor and I'll get some answers on this because I think it'll be interesting. Do you think Drive to Survive is the reason for the amount of toxicity online?
I don't think it helps.
I don't think it's the sole purpose. I think the sole purpose is just the fact it went so mediaized so quickly. It was like 1 minute it wasn't on there, and then the next minute it's on fucking everything.
Yeah, it's this like the Team LH and like Verstappen shaggers, as we've come to know them.
So that I feel like that would have been there anyway, even without social media. I feel like that would have been there anyway because it's a sport. People will have their
it's like football tribalism.
They will have their teams. Yeah, it's like you're going to have people that love Lewis, and you're going to have people that love Max, and you're going to have the people that are in between. But I don't think Drive to Survive helped it because they were so fixated last year on that little battle between Max and Lewis that it's just blew it up so much that everyone's like, oh no, Max is so shit. Oh no, Lewis is so shit. And it's all Lewis's fault. It's all Max's fault. And it's just all clashed together because they've blown it up and focused solely on that.
Yeah.
Whereas if they didn't focus on it at all and they'd just done one episode over it and then done the rest of it on something else, I feel like it would have brushed over it. No one really would have not forgotten it, but not mentioned it as much as it is getting mentioned now.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting kind of fault on it, because the fact that they would have existed anyway, but they were in such a small minority. I mean, I think we can say, Leo, you went to the 2012 British Grand Prix, or yeah. So, did you feel like there were very clearly Vettel fans, Hamilton fans, Button fans, Alonso fans, or did you feel like everybody was there to just watch Formula One cars?
I can remember it was majority McLaren. I'm just obviously Lewis. It was Lewis and Jenson at the time. That's why. So it was more. You had more fans there. It was really hard to tell because I went the year on the Saturday because it was raining so hard. They were stopping cars coming in, so it wasn't actually that busy. But yeah, it was mostly what I can remember, like McLaren fans, and then you had the odd Red Bull fan and all that. So, but no. But coming on your whether it creates all this toxic on on social media, I don't think it's the cause.
DTS.
Yeah, I don't think it's the cause. I think it's the cause of people with like little knowledge, trying to pretend they've got it.
Yeah.
But I think it's.
Would you not say that
also,
the people with a little knowledge would be the people that have come from DTS, though? Not just people that have turned up and watched a couple of races and gone, I know F1 now.
Both. But I think, obviously, the actual toxic nature of it is generally caused by hardcore fans, like Lewis fans, Max fans, and Ferrari fans. I don't know if you see it on Twitter, but Ferrari fans are very passionate.
They're literally extremists, aren't they?
Yeah.
Formula One extremists.
If you open up to being a Ferrari fan, you are basically an extreme fan of Ferrari, and that is it.
Yeah, you live and breathe them.
There is no in between.
I was about to say something really stupid. I was about, when they say like Leo would say his blood bleeds white because of Tottenham.
My
right?
blood bleeds
I was
red.
about to say for Ferrari, my blood bleeds red, and I was like, oh,
Should have let that happen.
There'll be some smart ass in the comments saying it's translucent.
No, actually, there's no one in our comments, so he wouldn't have that.
Every now and again, my girlfriend comments, your girlfriend comments, there's 4 girlfriends that can comment here.
Yeah.
So, 3 girlfriends and 1 fiance. So,
who's that?
That's
Fucking drop that in there, Jesus.
Yeah. There's a fiance, there's a mum, and then there's.
There we go.
There we go. That's the
drop
new
that in there as well.
Get them, drop it in, and then me and Leo kiss at work. But,
there's a fiance, there's a mum.
What's that got to do with anything?
So there's a fiance, there's a mum, and there's 2 cover-ups.
There's a couple of fakers.
Ryan was correct though from what he said earlier on, so he's not cancelled anymore.
Yeah, true. Actually, if you watched our badminton game with all 3 of us earlier on today, there was some questionable antics going on in that badminton game. Move the shuttle part, and yeah. But that's how you become PC. You don't need to bleep anything out.
Yeah. Remove the shuttle.
Yeah, take the shuttle away from it, and But yeah, so back on subject.
Start talking about
mayonnaise, ketchup.
There we go.
I mean, he was the one that mentioned it. No, I'm not gonna lie, he would have brought it up. Yeah, I think you're right in the fact that I think them hardcore fans have always been out. I think now that the sport is in this absolutely mega explosion, that it always has been, that it's never has been, because Formula One was a gentleman's club where men that like cars and had money would go to watch the Formula One on the weekend. Where now it's like, your TikTokers will turn up so they can do TikToks on the grid, and all this sort of nonsense. And you get the grid walks. Back then, I imagine, probably would have been Formula One or Bernie desperately trying to get some random famous people to turn up. But the only people that actually turn up are people that like the sport. But now Martin Brundle walks around and goes, how many morons can I find in 30 minutes? And it's it's quite evident where it's obviously exploded. Everybody who's requires influence or is a clout goblin are going to go to Formula One because the clout you'll get is massive. I mean, Christ, the bloody train guy on Instagram went to the Silverstone Grand Prix, Miami. Why was the train guy, Francis, what's his name? And I think he's cool. Why was he in Miami at a Formula One race?
They should have that GoPro he has on all the drivers.
I think on all of them, just the whole race.
Yeah.
That's all you see as well. You don't actually see the race. You just see their eyes.
like Max when he dive bombs someone, it's like, oh!
No, stop, wait. Wait for the YouTube viewers. Josh, do Max Verstappen face?
Hold on.
Now pretend you got a GoPro on your head.
How much supposed to pretend the eyes stood in the face?
Why did you start talking in that face, you idiot?
I literally have no idea.
You actually got stuck.
Oh, no!
I turn into Verstappen.
You turned into a frog face.
Oh God, that's gonna look terrible. That's gonna get clipped to hell, isn't it? I'm gonna live that one in the group chats all week. Amazing. I think there's an interesting thing. I wonder though if it wasn't for Drive to Survive, would the sport have got to where it was? Do you think it was its main? Because you can correlate it directly with like Liberty Media's shares and kind of worth.
I can tell you what it was. 100%. It was Drive to Survive because of COVID and Tiger King. Everyone got obsessed with watching Netflix during COVID.
True.
And was like, wow, what's this cool looking Netflix original recommendation after watching Tiger King? And then it was Drive to Survive.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was COVID had the lockdowns had that like.
Well, the first one that was released was just on the tail end of.
No, Drive to Survive was already a thing before COVID happened, but the reason why it blew up the way it did was COVID. That time period where no one was around watching it.
Formula One was the first sport to get going again.
Because of that.
Yeah, it was.
They knew it.
So you think people would just...
football started first, and then you had Formula back in like
football,
July.
You just got to turn up to a pitch and kick a ball. But like the first...
the actual organised event.
Every single
whole
fan in the world suddenly triggered.
Big thing. Yeah.
What do you mean? The actual... The first event that actually had to have logistics involved in organising it, not just taking two teams to a football match.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't know football without telling me you don't know football, i.e. Ryan.
I love it in football when they score tries. That's my favourite part of the game.
That.
Oh, shut up.
Leo, you fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
Straight into it.
I love it when they have to have a scrum as well.
Yeah. Do you want to know what's really interesting? This is a funny, like, have you ever actually broken something down to the absolute layman's? I did this the other day. This is a bit of a tangent, but it is on topic.
When do we never go on a tangent on this podcast?
Exactly. Just own it at this point.
We should just call this podcast the podcast of tangents.
Yeah, podcast, and that's what it's called.
Yep.
It's about Formula One, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Really. But no, basically, Lou went to a gong bath. If you don't know what a gong bath is, it's a room full of, like, you know that when you go to a Shaolin monk temple and they hit that gong?
No, I've never been.
Bong. Can't say I've ever been to a gong.
You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, but you started it with, you know when you've been, and I'm thinking, I've never been.
I'm just like, not too sure.
I've never been to a Shaolin monk
when you see
temple.
on a film, you know when you see on a film when they hit that bong? Wait,
gong.
Tom Cruise is in a film with a bong, 100%. Anyway, so
bong is a different.
I think Seth Rogen's in a film with a bong as well.
Yeah, he's got
you
a
hit the bong, right?
You bong the gong.
He's a bong master.
Because he's kind of calling it a bong, not a gong, you dickhead.
Bong gong. Yeah, basically. So she goes to this room and lays down,
On the bong
and
gong.
this woman comes around and hits a load of gongs. Right, that's why it's called a gong bath, because you're bathing in the sound of these gongs, and they make loads of different sounds. It's quite cool.
That
But I
sounds
sat
like
there.
Lou, to be honest.
I went, how much do you pay for this? She got a discount, right? Now, bear in mind, she got a discount,
Right.
£25 for the hour.
You what?
And I said, I went,
fuck, do the same thing.
so listen to this, right? So I went, so what you're telling me is you paid £25 to go to a hall where a woman bangs tins with a stick. How many people were there? Ready? How many people were there?
Just Lou.
There was 2 sessions that night. They were fully booked. 25 people. You do the math there.
Oh
This woman made
God.
over £1,000 for banging a bit of metal with a stick.
And saying that it purifies the soul.
It's nuts. Like it's
That does
crazy.
sound like Lou, to be fair, though. I'm not going to lie.
It's very much it is very
That
much
is
her.
very up Lou's street.
I'm not dissing it, but my lord, if you actually break something down,
Oh no, next time I see her, I'm dissing it.
it's crazy. Just like bang metal with stick.
Can we just
make of money?
Can we?
Fuck it.
I was saying, can it?
Crazy.
10-hour YouTube gone.
Sheddish, can we just walk into the shed with pots and pans and tell us to lay down and start smacking?
Oh, good idea. Actually, we
sit
just get a
there
load
like
of
that.
different pans.
Boom. Frying pan, saucepan. Get a wok.
Actually, a good idea.
Oh, hang on,
Just
I've
start
Actual
smacking the
rainbow
shit.
ribbons.
I've got some
Yeah,
steam
just
coming from the
start
candle.
smacking the
Look.
shit out of them.
There we go. Get the steam out.
And then when we walk out, can we charge her £25 each?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
that'd actually be genius. Genius marketing. Yeah. So basically, what I was looking at is it's very similar to. I get this all the time when I speak to people that don't know about Formula One. And Leo, you've definitely had this for years. When they go, yeah, but isn't it just cars that drive in circles?
Oh, yeah.
How infuriating
that's
is
how you
that?
explain NASCAR.
Yeah, but even NASCAR, that is actual NASCAR. in gen,
just
like
driving
they
in
just drive in
circles.
circles. But
I've actually seen
the
NASCAR in
rules and,
person,
like,
though.
the
Driving around in
strategy.
circles is actually pretty sick at Daytona.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when people
They're
oval racing's
so
boring. Like,
fucking
No,
loud.
it's insane.
it's nuts. It is crazy.
Until the rain
And
comes out
insane.
and they do 6 laps of 160 and then red flag the whole race
Yeah.
until tomorrow, which you don't get to see.
yeah, they don't.
Oh no,
they don't carry on.
no, they
do
don't.
They
They don't.
put
They
wets
red
on.
flag it for a bit, and then they send out their massive jet heaters onto the
Yeah,
track.
they
that
did
dry the
that.
track off.
America.
No, Ryan, they did that, but then there was too much rain, even though it hadn't changed, and then shut it all down.
Oh yeah, that's if it's still raining. Or they could be really smart, put the jet heaters on track while the car's still going around, and have someone crash straight into the back of one of them.
They're called Americans,
Excitement.
and that doesn't happen.
Because that actually did happen as well.
Americans don't do smart things.
Truth.
Anyway, back
Nah.
onto Formula One, not NASCAR. 'Cause NASCAR's a completely different subject.
Or gong baths.
Or
that
gong
people want
baths.
to. Hmm.
We don't want gong.
I can't believe
Yeah,
it.
isn't
I
that
just keep
frustrating?
thinking of bong
6
baths now.
Gong baths.
Oh, they're talking about a
Just
bloody
think
Isn't
about
that-
bong water in a bathtub.
a dong bath.
Isn't it crazy
Different
though
relation.
that is to try and actually explain
Fucking dong bath.
to someone who's got no interest? I'm gonna talk over Ryan, praying that. Wait, can we just server mute him? Is that a thing? But no, how mad that trying to explain to someone how Formula One works, and I think that's what Drive to Survive does perfectly, because you get a trickle feed of information about pit stops and about team management and about, when you think all them people sitting on that wall, on the pit wall, all have a job. Every single person you see is such an integral part of the team.
The size
You
of the
don't just win the race. You take one of them people out of the equation, you probably won't win the race.
the size of the team in F1 is insane. The amount of people they need just to drive that car around a track is insane. Because you take one of their mechanics out, can't really do a pit stop. Take one of the guys at the engineers out that look at all your sensors during the races and tell you on updates and that, can't win the race. Take Bono out from Hamilton. Jesus Christ, Hamilton wouldn't know what to do.
No, exactly.
He wouldn't know
You're
anything.
This just sounds like the whole of the Ferrari team.
But
actually, it is the
if
Ferrari
you look
team,
at
yeah.
Ferrari, you understand why you need a full team.
They're just sitting going,
actually the Ferrari
oh, we're actually a team. Fuck.
Okay, hold on, we're not winning anymore. What happened? What happened? What happened?
The only thing the Italians do right is their national anthem and end of.
Yeah, I want Ferrari to win purely
design
for
a
the
car.
national anthem.
No,
They
they
know
can't
how
do
to
that.
design a nice car.
Can't do that.
Lamborghini.
Wait, hold on. Just quickly, really quick touch on the Mercedes livery for this year.
Sex.
Unbelievable. Best livery on the track.
Unreal.
Best livery on track.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Yep.
It's no Aston Martin, but
Oh,
here we
shut
go.
up.
Here
It's the
we
same.
go.
I'll tell you what, go watch a race from 2022, and when this one starts, you'll see the exact same car copied and pasted onto the fucking track, and it'll probably finish in the same fucking place as well.
Same.
no, I'm joking. No, Mercedes is
Because they've got a
clear.
retired race car driver and a zero-time WDC. So,
Do you see he hurt himself, Lance?
Yeah, he's not doing it.
Yeah, he's not
He won't be-
first.
So who the hell at Aston
No,
Martin
yeah,
use?
yeah.
what did he do?
Berg, isn't he?
Drogovic, or babe.
I'll be
Yeah,
driving.
Drogovic.
That's exciting.
that'll be good.
That's exciting.
That'd be nice.
Maybe
yeah.
Daddy
Also,
Stroll.
did you know
Should
that
have been there.
McLaren,
That's what I'd do.
McLaren have dibs over the reserve drivers of Aston Martin for the first 15 races as well?
I thought
Yeah.
they were
Isn't
borrowing
it
Mick
Stoffel
Schumacher.
Van
With-
Dorn now?
I thought they're borrowing Mick
No,
Schumacher.
they've got they've for the first 15 races, McLaren can use both of the reserve drivers for if they need them.
Imagine Van Dorn and McLaren again.
But that's only for the first 15 races.
Imagine the scenes when he finishes 19th. Oh, well, such a nothing driver.
I would,
that had
to be
enough
honest,
time.
I would say if Latifi was still in it, he'd probably be 21st in the 2020 driver lineup still.
That was Mazepin, wasn't it? Until that lucky, like,
No,
random.
it was Latifi last
non-point.
year, wasn't it? When De Vries went in.
Oh yeah, he
De
was.
Vries
Yeah,
went in and he was
Yeah.
in 20th, and fucking Latifi was in 21st in a 20 grid lineup.
yeah. Didn't he pick up points? Where did Latifi pick up
Very
points?
lucky, very lucky. He got points. I think he came like 10th or 9th on one of the races.
Yeah. Yeah, he came at 10th when 9 drivers
Yeah.
all retired.
You got people
And,
in it.
yeah, there was hardly anyone on track. But
Yeah, was it Hungary or was it?
Yeah, Hungary. Everyone was like, "Oh my god,
No,
it's
it
gone
was
purple!"
Silverstone because
He's lost.
oh, that's brilliant.
He's gone
wasn't it?
purple
Whose
and
commentary was
he's
that?
stuck.
Was that Brundle or Crofty?
That was Silverstone, wasn't it? Where he went purple first sector and then
Yeah.
somehow
I
put
was
it
hungry.
20th.
Yeah.
Hungry. It was definitely hungry.
Purple first sector,
Yeah, no, it was.
and you still
It
finished
was
last.
Hungary because he
Halfway
got
through
into
Silverstone.
Q3 in.
No, because we were
Silverstone.
there. We would have gone fucking
Oh, no,
nuts.
of course it was. Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
No, of course it was.
yeah, he
Sorry.
got
And
into
I know,
Q3
it
and then
definitely
went
wasn't
nowhere.
Silverstone because Q1 was
Still
fucking
put it in
pissing
10th.
down. Wet
Yeah,
as
it was
fuck.
miserable. And then Verstappen spun in front of us, which was great.
Verstappen
Yeah,
spun in
but-
front of us, and Lance Stroll spun in front of us as well.
Multiple times.
Because
Multiple
he
times.
walked across the
Forget
gravel
that.
cap, and someone said you can't park there, and it's quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah, they shouted it through the thing, didn't they? And cops, can't park there, sir. Like, that was great over the tannoy. Amazing. Yeah, that was great. Do you remember that bloke in front of us when Verstappen spun and he was the most gammy-toothed bloody
Yeah.
Mercedes fan you'll ever see in your life?
He was like the typical Mancunian hooligan that goes to the
Yeah.
football games just to start a fight, but came to F1 instead.
Because he turned around, everyone was like cheering at Verstappen spun, and he looked around, and I certainly had about 5 different sets of teeth in his mouth.
Who was that geezer that pushed in front of you and started wanting to fight
We
you?
talked about that the other day.
Because you were sitting at the gate or something, weren't you? He tried to cut in front of you.
Yeah, yeah, we're all there with tickets, and he turns up. I've paid for this. I'm like, it's general admin. What are you talking about? I'm like, I want to stand here now. I was like, that's not how that works. We got here at 4 a.m. You're a loser, so go away. But yeah,
While
stupid.
I was sitting on my grandstand seat.
Yeah, well, not this year. Not
Yeah,
this
we're all
year.
sitting on
We're not
grandstand
this
Well,
year.
seats.
well, you ain't because you'll be sitting in the baby waiting room, mate.
Yeah, you'll be sitting with a midwife.
No, I definitely won't be. That's at the end of July, mate, not the beginning. Unless she's like 3 weeks.
3-week-old
Unless
baby.
she's like 3 weeks early, then you've got to start worrying.
Well, this is your child, remember?
Oh, yeah, true. It's going to be late, so.
Unreal, yeah.
Gonna come out with one eye and his nose on its forehead.
Hello.
You're funny. That'd be great. But I think
We go back to the topic of
Hey.
gatekeeping with Leo.
there was a topic here that I was talking
Yeah,
about.
gatekeeping.
So
We've had 43 minutes of talking absolute shit at the minute, so.
with gatekeeping, it's obviously bad for the sport. I want Leo to have his opinion on this. Is there anything good about gatekeeping Formula One at all?
No, because it like pushes other fans away.
Instantly.
So why
No
the
thought.
Trust
fuck
me,
do
I
you
know-
do
I know
it
that.
then?
Sourced from Trust Me, fam.
Trust me.
No,
Trust
it's
me, boy.
no gatekeeping like in all sports or whatever is just
Yeah,
stupid because like you got to allow other fans to learn, the sport and everything. Like that. So we're going, oh, you don't know this, and basically, I do it because I can. That's what it is.
yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Gatekeeping is also fun. Like
It's really
every now and
fun.
again, just be like, "Oh yeah, well, what was your favourite driver in the Sauber in 2003?" Hey, which I actually think I can't remember what that was. Was Ralph Schumacher driving for that then, or was he BMW? He was BMW, wasn't he? Which was Sauber at the time, right? Leo, the gatekeeper.
What's up?
Josh has
Exactly.
gatekeepered himself.
Yeah.
I've gatekeeped
He's locked
myself.
himself
I actually
out
know
of his
what I'm
own
talking
gate.
about.
He's actually locked himself out of his own gate. And he's thrown away the key at this point as well.
Come on.
Josh has just
Yeah.
taken a fat L on this podcast.
That literally is what this podcast is. Everybody, welcome back to the Fat L podcast with your host and only loser, Josh.
Unbelievable.
The absolute giant L. Yeah, gatekeeping is quite fun to like kind of roast somebody when the new person clearly wants to try and like be like, yeah, no, I know all these things. And then the gatekeeper will kind of be like, okay, let's see how much you really know so I can just flex knowledge on you. No one cares. Actually, no one cares. But it's that little like bit of self-worth of, I've watched this for a long time and I know all of the stuff. And that's where I think is quite funny. Like, Leo has a smirk when he mentions like something, and I have no idea what he's saying about, and it's from like 2013 or something.
What about was it? Did you hear any of it at Silverstone? Like, is there anything you hear any of that at the track, or is it just?
No, people would just chill, don't they, when we were there? Apart from the one McLaren idiot.
Yeah, but
and that was the only out of 480,000 people.
We were probably the worst
entire
ones
weekend, or whatever it was.
Every time we saw like a Red Bull fan, we'd be like, "Ooh, what are they doing here? Disgusting, creep, weird."
Yeah, but even then, it was kind of like there was this like friendly rivalry between, like, we'd see people and be like like that, and then probably they were doing the same. Like, look at them with Mercedes shirts. Glory hunters, blah.
I mean, let's be honest though. Wearing a football shirt is cringe enough. Leo on holiday wearing his Tottenham training kit is even more cringe.
Hey, come on, you Spurs!
Wearing a Formula One
kit,
wearing what Ryan is wearing at Silverstone, wearing a hat, coat, shirt, umbrella. I think it was of all McLaren gear. All right, didn't have an umbrella. I'll take it back. It's free. Hat, jacket, t-shirt, proper cringe. And that's
not sure why.
That is a racing
same day either,
racing team. That's really cringe.
Yeah. When you look like you should be on the field.
That. McLaren fans, like, no matter where you go, like even in Belgium when you're at Spa, they're full out.
I'm still taking the L for that because I'm really not sure why I wore it all on the same day. Considered we were there for 4 days.
And you were like, you couldn't be bothered to walk back to your tent.
It was a half an hour walk,
get your coat, so you were going to spend £180 on a jacket.
Well, no, I wasn't actually only joking.
Half hour.
I wasn't actually going to do that, was I?
You wasn't.
Let's be honest, I wasn't actually going to do that.
That's why your dad was like, I'll go back. You ain't spending that much money, you clown.
Yeah, but I wasn't actually going to do it, was I? I don't think I had £180 just to go, oh yeah, I'll buy a coat.
No.
I think I would have gone and bought one of those shit ponchos that you got.
When we sprint over and they're like, we don't take, they don't take something, so we had to get cash out. What? Getting cash out at a racetrack whilst it's chucking it down with rain and running to get the last ponchos. Not a fan.
How did we get here, by the way?
We're not taking card. I don't know why did Ryan leave him. He does this every time. Why is it every week he doesn't leave it? Oh, I love it.
So, yeah, Gatekeeping.
I can't remember how we got to that conversation.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, Leo said, is it like that on the track? And everything's pretty chill on the track.
I imagine it might be different this year.
See when going Formula 1, right, last time I went was 2018, and you had that was the start of the Verstappen fans, and so you still had that kind of split of newer fans, because the Verstappen fans, I am pretty sure the majority of them are newer fans.
Yeah,
I think they are.
I think it's quite clear as well. But you didn't have that gatekeeping stuff or nothing like that. I mean, I remember going back in 2015 to Belgium and having these Ferrari fans cheering for Vettel, proper full on. I don't know if they were German or Italian, but full on cheering for him. And then Vettel's tyre blew. I can't remember, it was towards the end, and just turning around in my Mercedes gear, laughing. 14-year-old me laughing at him.
His little ginger twat turns around. He's like, steam, boys.
But no, you've never had it at the circuit. So I think it's just that gatekeeping stuff. I think it's either online or kind of
Well, you say that though. They had quite a big.
Just keep on.
Well, no, you say that they had quite a big problem in Red Bull Ring this year, didn't they? And it was a lot more than gatekeeping.
And Monza.
And Monza, yeah.
Monza was a really big one, where Max Verstappen fans are actually getting attacked by Italian bad boys.
Yeah, but again, that's Ferrari fans are proper passionate.
Extremists.
Yeah, but at the Red Bull Ring, that wasn't Ferrari fans. That was Red Bull fans, wasn't it?
No, that was bad.
That was the Austrians.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's
that's why. Well,
I think that's them, not the.
It's crazy that they have to give Verstappen his own grandstand at some Grand Prix because it's too dangerous to have Verstappen fans mixing with other people. It's
turning into football.
No, I can tell you what it is. I can tell you what it is now. the Dutch have nothing other than cheese and Max Verstappen to cheer for. That's it.
Yeah.
So they are shit at football. They are shit at everything else except for Max and maybe Martin Garrix. And that's all they have. And cheese. So they go nuts for him.
It's not just Dutch, though. There's a lot of English Verstappen fans.
There's a lot of
well, Andy
jaded-
Moore isn't
Lewis
technically...
Hamilton doesn't pay taxes.
Andy Moore isn't
Them
a
ones.
Max Verstappen fan. He's actually a Lewis and Mercedes fan because we went deep on his Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, it went all the way down.
All the way down.
All
I
the
see
way.
that Mercedes hat, Andy Moore.
See them pro Lewis posts, and then he changes.
Because he
Out of
vaguely looks
nowhere,
like him.
someone
He's got
says he
some
looks
shit
like-
glasses.
Yeah. Ugh, I can't stand him, honestly.
So
but I
cringe.
can. But I don't watch it anymore. I can't do it. It just destroys me. But yeah, it's interesting because I think there is a role for gatekeepers. I think gatekeepers, what is a gatekeeper fundamentally,
Leo.
right? It feels like gatekeepers are kind of a word given, there's a 50-50 on this, right? And hold on, wait. Having some copium before I start this conversation.
God,
So basically-
let me check the time. You're gonna lose,
Yeah,
and then go on.
that
to
was so bad earlier.
it's
It's the
That
fact I
was so
bottled it
bad.
after as
0-1,
well.
yeah.
It's the
You're
fact I
losing.
bottled it.
losing the game.
It's
4-1
time to leave the game because
It's
you
time
lost.
for me to shout Leo.
It doesn't anymore. It's really sad.
Sadly, they do it.
You
gotta stop-
stabbing for it.
I've got to take you like 40 points deep into a game and just watch like the crumbling as you're like 10 points to my 40 or something. And then I think the Leo will come back out.
It's the 15-point games, and when
Yeah.
I go like 4 points up, and then that's it.
Yeah, crumble completely. But yeah, the gatekeeper thing, I think fundamentally a gatekeeper is someone that has loads of knowledge and should pass that knowledge on, but passes it on in a way that comes out really aggressive and patronizing and undermining. And that's kind of like, that's what a gatekeeper is. It's someone who has a lot of knowledge, but instead of going, yeah, so on this year, this actually happened. No, really? And it's like, yeah, it was really cool. And there's another driver called this. Check him out. He's really good. Instead of being like, oh, yeah, well, I know more than you do. So are you really a fan? Are you really a fan?
Would you call Coulthard at Baku, I think it was 2018, when he was like slagging off Christina Aguilera?
Christian
was it?
Aguilera, yeah.
Would you
He
call
was
that
like,
gatekeeper?
that is gatekeeping to a T, but it was excellent because it was live and it was hilarious. It was the funniest thing. There's Christina Aguilera pretending she knows what she's talking about, or pretending she knows
fake
what Formula One is.
knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. That is a really good one. And then kind of like Martin Brundle approaching people on the grid. It's funny because we're all F1 fans and we're all pretty deep F1 fans, but it's actually really damaging for the sport because it makes it look. Imagine this little English bloke from King's Lynn rocking up to you, and you're like Megan Thee Stallion, right? Who ain't got fucking clue. She's there because her media team told us to be there. And you've got this little man just like, who's going to win that out of Lance Stroll? And why do you joke? Like that, like.
It's when Martin Brundle went to talk to her and he kept doing it, and then the geezer went, "You can't do that," and he just walks off going, "Well, I just did."
Yeah, well, that was
I was like,
the
oh
comments
my
were goated. Comments were so good, but there is an extent of it. But like the other wholesome thing, which I didn't know because we were all there, and Leo showed it to me the other day, is Stormzy. Stormzy has only recently started being an F1 fan, but he's getting right into it. So when he comes, Martin Brundle goes up to him and he's like, yep, this, and this, and I'm here for this. I'm cheering on Lewis and this. You know, and that's quite cool. But then it's the ones that clearly aren't interested, leave them alone. That conversation Martin Brundle had with that random woman who was just on the grid, not even like notoriety. It was in Mexico with some random American woman who was just like on the grid walking around. He's like, hello, who are you? Here's a microphone. And she starts talking. I don't know if you saw that one, but watch the Mexican Grand Prix grid walk, and it's just this random ass woman, like not famous, not anything at all. Just bought a grid pass because her husband's probably rich or she's rich or whatever. And it was really funny. But she knew what she was talking about, which was quite fun. So, yeah, I'd say there is a bit of gatekeeping idiot, even in the media. which is why I think the social media pages for a lot of the F1 teams are very important. Red Bull's social media is so boring for a team that's all about action and like excitement. It's so boring. And Mercedes is just full of memes and like taking a mick out of everything. And even McLaren, I thought would have been a lot more lighthearted, but they're all just like, not, if you know what I mean. And I think the social media part also has a big role to play in the effect of gatekeepers and all that sort of stuff. So it's an interesting one. But we haven't heard your take, Ryan.
By the way, I don't think it's as strong as other sports.
In where I can and then agreeing with everyone else. So.
I don't think it's as strong as in other sports.
Gatekeeping.
No, it's like in football.
Football's massive for...
Yeah, football's going to be the worst for it.
I don't think it ever will be, because there is stuff to gatekeep on, but there's not as much.
Yeah, because
you could probably stand there and gatekeep someone for at least an hour or two before you got bored of it yourself.
Well, it's quite funny, right? You can exactly that. Like Leo can probably name every player that's played at Tottenham since like 2005.
Can't name any trophies he's won though.
Right.
Hey.
What a lineup! What an absolute lineup! Jeez. But yeah, so. But you could name all the Aston Martin Formula 1 drivers because there's only been 4 of them. Right? So you can get in and kind of pick one of the newer teams. Yeah, they have obviously foundations. Like Aston Martin aren't a brand new team. Like Haas, as an example, they only date back to 2016. There's no other history of Haas or that team. They didn't buy into a new team. They bought that team in. And I think having the addition of Andretti, if they do come in, which I really fucking hope they do, they'll be bringing in a brand new entity, and all of America will be behind the America team. How? The problem with it?
No, I don't think they would be. I generally think America would stick with like the top drivers. Because Logan Sargent won't have like the Max Verstappen kind of support. I think Americans will still stick with like Verstappen or Hamilton or whatever.
They'll stick with the people that they know. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'd probably see
Americans
that.
Only
give it a couple of seasons. I think it'd be 2 or 3 seasons, and then they'll start backing their team.
Yeah, especially if the team like Andretti, they know that name. That name carries weight because you get all of the IndyCar fans, you get all of the NASCAR fans, you get all of the other things that Andretti Motorsport do, which is loads of stuff. Especially then Cadillac as well, and all the Cadillac racing group. And people will jump behind that because they go, oh, yeah, that's American. And what do Americans love? Americans. And what better thing than you got like Andretti with a 2, they'd have like Colton Herta and who's the other guy that's American that's really good? Logan Sargent, as an example. You'd put 2 of them in that car, 2 Americans, an American team, and let's say they're midfield. They'll get support through the roof, you know. They'll get funding thrown at them left, right, and centre. And yeah, I think that could be a really, really good thing. But again, who's gatekeeping the sport? The F1 team bosses that don't want them to come in because they're precious little money fund. They don't bring anything for the sport. Yes, they do. Like
I'll tell you what, Toto Wolff has been terrible for it over the winter.
Yeah, really, really bad. And I love Toto Wolff, but put your business head away. It's very clearly good for the sport. Very clearly good. But yeah, that's my little like ending pitch. Have you anyone else got anything to say? Throw to the floor before we end off for another lovely week on Motivation Monday.
Motivation Monday. I haven't, to be honest. No, I sort of just listened, agreed, and then put my piece in where I needed to. So
nice, we like that. Who's excited for the go-karting this week?
It's going to be nice. Going to send Leo to the Shadow Realm straight away. T1 straight into that barrier on the left. The white and blue barriers, yeah, straight into them ones.
No,
do you know what, Leo? You've never done it, and it's going to be dark. It's going to be even harder for you.
They got the floodlights though, haven't they?
Have fun with it. You're going to have
There's bears out there.
So basically, Leo, as you get down to the bottom of the track,
don't break.
You have a little right-hand turn. There's a sausage curb just on the left. Hit that with the whole cart. That's the quickest line. That is the quickest line.
and then
No, it's the
everybody
quickest
slows
line
down.
back into your car to go home.
The car. You've shagged it, so might as well leave. That's the dream.
Leo, you're
Lads,
shit to go home.
and what we've got after we do our little, this is the practice for a race that we've got coming up. And if Leo qualifies within the time, you can come to the race if you want to. And that could be quite a good little podcast thing about talking about how the race went and stuff.
We still
No one
need
will
to
probably
try.
listen, but
Still need
it'd
to
be
try
fun.
and book for the 24-hour one. That'd be the big race.
Mate, could you imagine?
If
That's,
we could
you
do
know,
the
that's sold
24.
out
Yeah,
like
it sells out.
bang,
Me.
like, every
yeah, I
single
know.
time.
That's what I'm saying. We need to try and get in there for the 24. That'd be insane.
What an experience that'd be. It actually, I mean, just sleeping in like you're sleeping in a calf basically for like a couple of hours,
Yeah.
waking up and then going back out on a cart while someone's doing a 2-hour stint. That's
Yep.
nuts. Half an hour in a cart pushing like nuts and you're burnt.
You're doing
That-
2 hours stints. And you're doing
Nutty.
a lot of them as well. You're not
Yeah.
just doing 2 or 3 of them.
It's actually nutty. But yeah, right. Anyone else want to add anything before we sign off? No. Well, I hope you all enjoyed our discussion and conversation today. It's been all over the place as usual. We start with a structure, and the structure's in the bin within 5 minutes. So, like the 2-minute intro that took ages to begin. So, as
Because you
always,
just didn't want to intro it, so.
it's because I just ramble all the time. I just can't stop talking. But as always, please follow, like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. All of the things that are good. Like everything. Comment. It really helps to see if, you know, what you're watching is engaging and what you like to see. The more content we can put out, the better, obviously, that is suited to our listeners. So, again, hope you all enjoyed, everybody. From me, goodbye. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you all
Goodbye.
next week.
Later.
Right.